She's a chartered HR practitioner. That's from, I think I said CIHRP. Is that right? Okay. And she also holds a BSc and an MSA in Human Resource. Charlie Wako School. And on top of that, she's been practicing for the last 8 years. And currently, she's the head of HR at her company. I won't mention the company, but it's a big company. So she's very high up in what she's doing. So when she's talking Gen Zs, please listen. She has a lot to tell you and a lot to help you in the interview process and in HR in general in companies. Gifty, you're welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
So, okay, we are going to go straight into the interview today. And we're talking about HR for Gen Zs. Now, the last HR gentleman we had here said that Gen Zs are a set of people, should I say like that, or a generation that they really need like a whole HR department to deal with them on their own. Are you in agreement, or what are your thoughts on that?
And I think I'll pick it from where he stopped. Sorry.
Sure.
It's now being fused into the HR system.
Okay.
Or strategies. Yes, because we are in the new technological world, and
Right.
whereby we expect that as we advance, HR also advances.
Sure.
In the way we act, the way we do our things, how we deal with the human capital.
Okay.
And also everything, and also in motivating stuff.
But does HR really change? Like maybe from one generation to another? Does it really change? Or have you noticed that because Gen Zs are kind of like a bit different, not negatively, positively for most companies, but because they're a little bit different now, HR is having to swing towards the technological side?
Yes, HR has changed because human changes.
Okay.
And we're dealing with people.
Sure.
HR got to do with the human capital. You need the people to work with. And if the people are changing, technology is changing, and the youth that are coming up are swaying into the AI and everything, definitely as an HR or in your organization, you should also infuse that into your policies and also into strategies that you are able to use in helping the organization.
Okay, so as a HR practitioner, you've been doing this for the last 8 years. How different is it when you started to now?
Okay, so when you started, you have the database manually done.
Okay.
But here's the case: we have different documents coming in. Google, Bing, they've all inculcated the AI into their policies. We have the Human Resource Information System, which has also been fused into the AI or technology into it, the Human Capital Management System, even with tracking of staff. You know, at first you can't write attendance book. You have to write your
Back
name.
in the day.
Exactly. But now we have the biometric.
Right.
So when you come and you're late,
we know.
You know, it's automatic. So that
you
is
can't lie about
exactly,
it.
You know, compared to the others, you have to write your name and cancel and no. But now it's in. You use your thumb to also do the biometric. Your face is in. So that is a new technology we are moving.
You can no longer tell your colleague that, please, show me the mommy why.
Exactly.
So when you, as a HR head, how are you able to foster a positive working environment? I mean, because we have Gen Zs here, and sometimes I listen to some of their excuses and some of the things that they're saying, and I think to myself, like, wow, when I first started working, this is not something I could give as an excuse. You are late. Now you are late and you are telling me that your father didn't drop you. That is why you are late. And this is a Gen Z's reason to come in late. And I'm just thinking to myself, number one, even when I was younger, my father didn't drop me, firstly. Then to use that even as an excuse, like it's untenable. So how do you foster a positive working environment when you have I mean, bridging the gap between maybe millennials and older generations versus the Gen Zs? How do you bridge that gap and make it positive for everybody?
Okay, so just as I said, with HR, what we deal is policies.
Right.
So if the organization puts in proper policies in place, you know you're supposed to come at 8 and you don't come at 8. Instead of waiting to write letters to ask for permission not to come at 8, there are softwares that you can just go into your system,
Okay.
type in request leave letters, you write a leave and send it to your head of department.
Okay.
So instead of coming, with the Gen Zs, they'll just go into the computer.
Computer.
By the use of the new software that has come in, type in a request for my leave, send it to your boss. Your boss just replies you that he has sent it, then you can go on the leave. These are some of the new changes that you see. You can also do it by telephone.
Okay. Like WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Is that an acceptable method to tell your boss you're not coming to work?
The acceptable way is just the formal way by writing, going. But you can equally do it if you do it formally.
Okay.
Just as I said, technology. Write a formal letter.
Okay.
You're not there to sign, but you can equally use the word duly signed.
Okay.
Exactly. So if your organization have a proper database or software, it can also be used. Some organizations also has a format, or let's say yes, a template in doing that. So you just fill it in and send it out.
Okay.
Then it is done instead of coming all the way to the office to come and request for
A leave form and stuff.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So I hope all other HR heads are hearing, and all Gen Zs are also hearing, and all the millennials such as myself are also hearing. So there are many different ways, I think, to skin a cat. So I think that if we are able to involve all levels to make it easier for everybody on both sides, and I think that that will be great. But I mean, let's start maybe with the interview process. So before I've even come to get the job, what are the types of common mistakes you see Gen Zs making in the interview process?
Okay, so some just enter the interview, see the panel, they might not greet.
Oh.
Exactly. So some also come, quickly take their seat. Okay, so now, when you come, the first thing you have to do is to greet, wait to be asked to sit. Exactly. So these are some of the things they do, and some don't come properly dressed.
The dressing thing, I was coming on to that, but let's tackle it now.
Okay. So you see, the way you appear depicts what we want.
Sure.
Every panel on the interview sit looks at you. Your dressing will speak and give you a mark. On the interview sheet, there is a column for that.
Right.
Appearance.
Okay.
And some will also come so dressed up.
Like over the top.
Over.
Okay.
And you see, if you're coming for an interview, what you're coming for, as a secretary, as a finance person, as a plumber, as a driver, you must dress to depict what you're coming.
Right.
Exactly. So if you're coming as a plumber, then you come and dress in a suit, and it's nice, but it's over.
Okay.
So sometimes you must also know what you're coming for. Some also don't read at all about the organization that they are coming into. You also come in late.
Mercy.
Exactly. You come in late, you are not prepared, you have no knowledge about the organization, and also your body language. You come in and an arrogant way of standing and everything. It's all, the Jay-Z's, sometimes we don't really mind. They come in, I'm just coming for an interview, just come sit. And also the courtesies you show when you enter the interview sit, and how you answer your questions, and to be truthful to yourself.
So is it, do you really take into consideration somebody's generation when you are doing the interview?
When you say generation, how do you mean?
Like, if somebody's a millennial, maybe how they were raised versus a Gen Z, do you kind of say that, okay, this is a millennial, he or she should know better. This is a Gen Z, he or she will not know better. Like you mentioned about greeting, you mentioned about dressing and things like that. Because Gen Zs are more like jeans, T-shirts, maybe a gentleman will come, his shirt is open, he has a medallion, his chest hair is hanging out, and he's coming for an interview. He may think that, well, I've come, so what's your beef? I can do the work like with my eyes closed. So what's your matter? Do you consider those things?
Okay, so you are not coming to your own work.
No, like an interview.
So I'm saying that you are not coming like you have your own job that you're coming.
Right.
You come in for an interview, so you must know the organization you're coming to. Okay, so you may be a Gen Z, but however, how do you fuse into the whole populace or the whole organization? The organization is to sell you equally out, your brain, your ideas. So if you come with only the Gen Z mentality, it might not be so good for you.
Okay.
You must first understand the situation, fuse it into it.
Okay.
Because the organization also needs that youthful, style into its way of working, but fuses into it. If you are in a jeans, how about the shirt?
Okay.
The shirt and this, the jacket that you put on.
Okay.
Is it a suit? Make it look formal, even the way you dress or come in. You can't put in too much blinks or chains when you're coming for an interview. It's a formal place you're coming in. Exactly. So you must also depict that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So dressing is important. How you address the panel is also important. I have somebody who has sent a question in. They said, so as someone who works in IT and not in a field that requires much of suit and tie, what's appropriate for he or she to wear?
Okay. IT, it depicts the kind of organization you are in.
Okay.
Some come in suit. Some come in suit when it comes to ITs. Some, but with dressing, it's not necessarily being a suit. You can be in a white shirt and a tie and put in your trousers.
Okay.
And now, even the ITs, you don't just come in with the jeans.
Okay.
You should look formal. Because you may not know where your boss will be asked or ask you to go and represent him or her. That is the whole idea of dressing properly when you come into the organization. It's because you might be asked to go and represent the organization somewhere. And if you come in and you are not properly dressed, how then do you do that? So I think the dressing itself, the company wants to brand itself to look very, very, very nice and also to sell out its product. Let's say an organization that builds organization, you are going to meet clients and you come in and your appearance, they will not take you serious.
Because I think, I don't know about this question, but I think you find that IT people tend to be those, I work at night, I don't really meet people, I'm just like this, versus maybe an IT manager or something like that. And then you can also get maybe like an IT company which is very trendy and very down to earth type of company versus like maybe your Oracle, an international company that maybe their IT comes, there's a department, they all sit down, they're all suited and booted and things like that. So maybe it depends on the
it also depends on the organization's culture.
Right.
If it is not the Oracle per se, those that do the what should I say, softwares and everything, that you must come out that formal.
Right.
But the organization believes in dressing casual smart.
Okay.
That is their culture, and that is how they want to sell or brand themselves.
Okay.
So you cannot also then come in with a suit.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
then you'll be overdressed.
Exactly. So your organizational culture is dress this way. Okay. In my organization, we have a dress culture.
Okay.
The days that you are supposed to wear this, the days you are not supposed to wear this, suit, whatever. So you just put yourself into that. Depict what the organization wants you to be so that you will be able to also sell the organization out. And it also comes back to you because the organization win, you also win.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people kind of think to themselves that I must be well looked after. I. And it seems that maybe Gen Zs maybe think to themselves that I must be not necessarily in charge, but I must be well taken care of. As for the company, it's not my concern. But I'm doing my work, all right, but I must be I must be taken care of. So my mental health must be taken care of. My family must be okay. My living conditions and all those kinds of things. How do you balance those types of things? Because obviously you may not get people who are at that level, because it's not everybody who gets their accommodation taken care of, uniform allowance and all those kinds of things. So how do you strike that balance so that Gen Zs will feel they're also being taken care of, but you're also ensuring that the company is also getting the best out of them, and a value for money, basically.
Okay. So, Nana, just as I said, every organization has its policies. Before you enter the organization, they have given you your job duties, how much you're going to be paid, the allowances and everything has been given to you. Now, how will I, after some year, be motivated to bring in the best or to move on? More training.
Okay.
You motivate staff not only monetary terms,
Right.
but also training them.
Okay.
And also encouraging them to reach a certain high. If that is a job succession plan, you do a succession plan for even the staff, whereby if he sees a senior person ahead, make sure the person also, like job rotation, learn on the job too, and also has a future of, oh, my boss is here. If I train myself or motivate myself a bit educationally, I can also reach this goal. So it's not only about the money, it's not only about what it's, being given to me, but the organization also looks at what you are also bringing on the table. If you are doing the same thing concurrently for about 4 or 5 years, you don't expect to be motivated to reach a certain height.
Right.
Exactly. What you put in is what the organization also gives back to you.
Okay.
Because the organization also is into profit making.
Right.
Exactly. Yes. It's
Yeah.
also into profit making.
Yeah.
So you being the genes, that means you're very, very much inclined with the technology and new things that are coming in. What initiatives are you bringing into the organization for them to see that, also motivate you into a higher height or higher grade or position in the organization? Then you also get more allowances, more of the
stipends.
Exactly. So if you are just there for 4 or 5 years, no educational, you've not upgraded yourself, not adding in anything, I don't think you should also expect anything to it.
Okay, so it's a give it should be a good
exactly,
a give and take
exactly
kind of thing.
Yes.
You mentioned job rotation. What exactly does that mean?
Job rotation, it's in 2 ways. It can either be job rotation. Some organizations have branches in the regions, some also departmental. So we can move you from one department to another department.
Okay.
You are rotating.
Okay.
Let's say an admin officer in a legal department being taken to a marketing department, also doing administration. So you've changed your department here and there, but you're acquiring more knowledge in the organization.
So it's like to get a more rounded view about how the organization works.
Exactly.
So there's no deficit. Okay.
Exactly.
So if I'm
and it
off,
also adds up. You get more knowledge. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like if I'm off work, there's always somebody to be able to fill in whatever needs to be done.
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier about emerging trends in human resource, and especially AI and things like remote work.
Yeah.
How does this help or hinder a company and also the worker as well?
You see, I'll say the AI is nice, it's good. You put everything in, you need an information that it is sent to you, but can you also depict behavioral behavior of every staff? No, that is what also hinders the AI.
Okay.
You can't see or know that I'm sad. You see, in trying to get into the AI. So that is only the one thing that if a staff is in front of you and he's talking, the body language I will know and understand.
Right.
But when he's just typing whatever he's trying to say, you may know by the tone, but AI is an information being fed into the system and it producing what you have actually fed into it.
Okay.
But the body language and the behavior of an individual,
you will not
see it. So that's the difference between the AI and, HR perspective in handling people.
Because I'm realizing that people are relying heavily especially Gen Zs, heavily on AI, and some are using it literally. So, for example, I've written something, and instead of it being my personal writing, it's just an AI generated script, for
No,
example.
you're right there. You can use it to do your memo, your reports, even your CV. But the issue now is, if you use it, it is an information you have generated from it. How are you learning?
I have a really big problem with AI.
You can
honestly.
never learn.
Yeah.
You can never learn, I don't know, get yourself into it. If I sit to do a report and you do it very well with yourself thinking through it, it can stick for years to come.
That's true.
It makes, to me, as much as it is fast, it also makes people a bit lazy in trying to learn.
Yeah.
It's a bit difficult for them to learn because they've been able to, you can get it easily when you want to do a report, do a memo. But if you have to sit to understand it, you will not be able to. And the AI helps you do all these reports, not taking into consideration the organizational culture, whether what you've written is what the organization really needs. You just bring it out. But in a way, it's good, it's fast. However, I think when you take it, you should also try to read through and just inculcate some of the organizational cultures that you, the organization, think you should have.
Right.
Because in HR, no matter what you do, whether the AI or the Gen Zs, you must go purposely through the processes that it's set for the organization, the organizational condition of service, the policies set for health and safety, everything. So it must be there, it's fast. But however, the policies are there to guide the organization and also the human capital in the organization.
Anyway, I have my personal opinions and I'll keep them to myself. But I think, like you are saying, there are positives and negatives concerning using artificial intelligence, and it can help and hinder an organization. And I suppose it depends on the person, maybe, and their willingness to be truthful to themselves and the organization as well. Yeah. So, Gen Zs are their own. They're their own people, I think, because sometimes the things that you hear them say, it's different for me. It sounds different. It is different. And like you're saying, with all the technological changes and the things going on in society and in human resource management as well, what are the kind of things, the essential skills and qualities that you will look for in a Gen Z? Is your interview process a little different when it gears to them, or it's exactly the same, and if they don't fit the company culture, then they're out? Is there a different way you will interview them?
In having or bringing in someone into organization, the first thing you look at is whether the person is organizational fit and also job fit.
Right, so it's two different things.
Yes. So if you're very, very good, and I bring into the organization and you cannot fuse into the culture of the organization, it makes it difficult to work with you.
Is it impossible or just difficult?
It's extremely difficult.
Okay.
Unless the person is willing to learn to change.
Right.
Exactly. It cannot be, you can't say it's impossible, because someone can be willing to change. Maybe let's put it this way. You employ a northerner whose head is a woman. Some northern cultures may not have quote and unquote ladies as being their head.
Right.
So if I bring into it and your head is a woman, and per your cultural background, you cannot also succumb to a woman.
Right.
It brings a lot of, they can
friction.
work, but friction here and there when you work with such a person. So some way, somehow, you must be able to, you're coming to the organization, not your own, as I said, it's not your own work. Learn the culture of the organization. And as a Gen Z person, you should be have a lot of initiatives, because you're bringing technology into, as they say, our old way of working.
Right.
So what are you bringing to the table? That is what if someone is taking a Gen Z into the organization, he has a new brand, trying to rebrand the organization to make it better.
Okay.
Because we already are doing it this way. So if you are bringing the new technology, what are you adding to it to make it better for the organization?
Have you ever had someone come in whereby maybe the majority of the panel were not really interested in the person, but the decision maker said that this person, yeah, we have to have him or her, and you've seen that they have kind of changed in a certain respect the office environment to suit them, but it's been a positive effect on the company? Have you seen anything like that before?
Yes. You see, in interview, someone can be very good in answering all the questions. However, the person or the goal of the organization does not depict what the person is trying to say or mean.
Okay.
So with that, the company may not take you, not because you weren't good, but because you cannot fuse into they achieving a certain goal or purpose that they want to achieve.
Right.
So interview person sometimes, he's very good, scored very high, but it came someone who was very simple, but you realize that some experience that the person have is going to help in 3 years' time for the organization or 5 years' time. So organizations take people not only for the now, because not for the now. We want to take someone who in 3 or 5 years' time, we can still benefit from the person. Okay. So for now, you can be available. You can be doing the work, you fit exactly. You can, the panel were able to take you. However, looking at how, let's say, in your last 4 or 6 years, you've changed jobs. Different organizations changed about 4 or 5 times. That means job security, we can't also put our finger on you.
Right.
So with that, we may take someone that we can also benefit, not come again to do another interview when you leave in the next 2 years for us to take someone else, whilst we have already trained you to know the culture of the organization.
Okay.
So that is what sometimes makes people not to be taken, although they fit into it. Okay. But the organization also looks at how they are also going to benefit in the near future.
Okay. So it's not just looking at the now, looking at the future and to see how they'll fit and be able to give the company their best.
That is where the Gen Zs also come in.
Right.
So they are the new technology, the AIs.
Okay.
So if I'm trying to employ someone, I need someone who can tell me that, we're doing it this way, but I think looking at how the technology is moving, we can also do it this way. In the next 3 or 4 years, we can still maintain our brand. The organization may pick that person more than you just knowing everything as for now.
Okay.
But
do they try to kind of do that takeover type of thing? Do you see that it's like, well, my way is the best way. I know what's up because I know more about technology than you guys. You guys are older than I am, blah, blah, blah. Do they try and do that?
There are checks and balances.
Right.
In every HR, even in the department, as much as you're knowledgeable in whatever you do, there are procedures you must go through.
Right. You
just don't come and just depict what you want to do into what the organization is. Just come and dump it into us. You must do it, but do it. Due diligence must go through it. The proper process of doing things are there. It's been set, so you can't just come, I wanted this, unless what you are bringing on the table is something unusual. But however, the company weighs it and thinks that, I think this is going to help. Let's try to change it and see whether. So with that, they give you timeline.
Okay.
To see whether your change can and what it can also help the organization for, let's say, 3-6 months.
Okay.
If not, then they can just say, no, we're going back. But you cannot infuse or impose what you think on them. No, organization has a structure. You must go through the structure.
Checks and balances. We are still in an interview with Madam Gifty, and this is still The Zone on Starr 103.5 FM. We still are simply the best. We are just going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back.
It's The Zone on Starr 103.5 FM.
Accra gets ready for the ultimate sporting event of the year. Starr 103.5 FM, your number one radio station, presents the Starr FM Attend Diplomatic Games.
On Saturday, 26th of October, the world's top diplomats gather for a friendly competition like no other in Accra, Ghana, under the theme Breast Cancer Awareness. Feel it, find it, fight it, and remember, there will be free breast cancer screening.
The venue is the American International School Sports Complex, East Legon, Accra. Time 8 a.m. prompt. The dress code is sporty pink. Activities of the day include
Soccer, volleyball, tennis, obstacle race, indoor games, and more.
Who takes home the gold? Look out for our colorful and exciting children's corner. Join us live at the Diplomatic Games with commentary from your favorite Starr FM hosts. Don't miss the action at the Starr FM Attend Diplomatic Games on Saturday, October 26, 2024 at the AIS Sports Complex, East Legon. Remember, attendance is absolutely free, but registration is compulsory.
Visit www.starfm.com.gh to register for free. This event is in partnership with American International School and supported by Sahara Rise Hospitality, Accra Medical Center.
I'm saying that Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
Akufado, minya wedienye, wuye bwe, bawumia, minya wedienye, wuye bwe.
Hey, Mommy Jane Fua, why are you so excited this hot afternoon?
My sister, when I remember what Free SHS has done for me and my children, I can't help but be happy for what Nanado and Dr. Bawumia have done. You remember when I lost my husband who was the breadwinner?
Yes, I remember very well.
There was no hope for my 3 children to go to school until Nanado and Dr. Bawumia introduced Free SHS. Now my children, Kofi, Esi, and Kojo, attend all these big schools. In fact, do you know they are saying they want to review it? That's one. Some of their people are saying that they should cancel. Others too are saying they should make some people pay the fees.
Hey, they want to do their thing again. Who is going to pay and who will be going for free? They want to push we the poor people aside and start using their connection men and protocol to access the Free SHS life-changing policy.
That is why we have to do everything in our civil rights to make sure they don't come and spoil this good thing for us.
This Free SHS policy that Mahama and his people said is not possible, but now see,
it is possible. This year, we are voting to protect the Free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, #1 on the ballot.
National Health Insurance.
Great news! The National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, has waived the waiting period for all members aged 70 years and above. All 70 years and above are also exempted from paying a premium. Enrollment and renewal are absolutely free on the NHIS. Members who are 70 years and above can automatically access healthcare when they newly register with the NHIS or renew their membership annually. You are no longer required to serve the 1-month waiting period for late renewals. Dad, mom, grandpa, and grandma, let your old age be filled with good health and access instant healthcare at zero cost on the NHIS today. Download the My NHIS mobile app to register with your Ghana card or visit the nearest NHIS office. Terms and conditions apply. For details, contact the NHIS call center on 054 444 6447 or 0302 746 447. NHIS, your access to quality healthcare. This message is brought to you by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Get ready to be swept away into a modern fairy tale where love, sisterhood, and magic collide.
Place it on your lips and say the magic word.
My Fairy Tale Wedding is the romantic comedy drama you've been waiting for. 3 women, 3 stories, and 1 unforgettable journey. Get ready to love the drama, the twist, and every magical moment in every African Magic Showcase. Because every fairy tale needs to be seen.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the car prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
It's The Zone on Star 103.5 FM. She sparks up your mid-mornings. It's The Zone. The Zone. The Zone. The Zone. The Zone.
Well, that was our quick break. And we've come back to our interview with Gifty, talking about HR for Gen Zs. And our time is almost up. So I just want to know, Gifty, what is your advice to Gen Zs? How would you tell them that, you know, if you do X, Y, and Z, it will be the best thing for you for an interview or in your current company? Because some people may be having friction with their current company, though they're in it and they're doing the work, they are still having a little bit of friction. So what advice would you have for those going for jobs and those in jobs as well?
Okay, so I'll take it first from those in jobs. You should be able to know how to change, know that the world is changing, you should also change.
Okay.
So when new technology has come in and people are, you know that they are recruiting people for such positions in the organization, and you are still there, you've not learned anything, you'll still be left behind. So you must learn to upgrade yourself,
okay,
so you'll be able to also meet the new world that you've also come in. And those coming in, or the Gen Zs, you should know that you are entering into the organization. You are just coming in not just because you are vibrant, you think this is how it is done, but you are not doing it in your own vacuum. You're entering into organization. So try to also fuse or blend that with the organizational culture and how the organization do their things. And when you're able to blend it better, the organization win, you also win. You bring in your new ideas, new innovations to the organization will move higher, and you also move higher. Mm-hmm. So it's a new technology. We are all moving higher, and we are all learning from each other. So I think the organization should also train even those that are there, that are still not getting into that world. So the organization can still move as they are all branding themselves.
Okay.
For the betterment of the organization. Thank you.
So we need to make sure that if you're somebody who is working at a company already, make sure that you upgrade yourself. Don't just be there and think to yourself that what I'm doing is more than enough. No, there's always a next step. There's always something new to be able to achieve. Then also those that are trying to enter into the workplace, make sure that you find out about the organizational culture and make sure you blend in and do whatever you have to do to make the company do well. Because when the company is doing well, you too are doing well. Now, we had a discussion with Mrs. Gifty Ofori-Yeboah, and she is a chartered HR practitioner, and she's given us a few hints and tips and some examples and experiences that she has had working with Gen Zs. Now, I want to quickly go over this again. Accra, are you ready? As we celebrate our 10 years anniversary, Star 103.5 FM, your number one radio station, presents the Star at 10 Diplomatic Games. Be part of the ultimate sporting event of the year as we bring the world's top diplomats together for a friendly competition like no other. The theme is breast cancer awareness. Feel it, find it, fight it. And there will be free breast cancer screening. The date is tomorrow, Saturday, 26th October. The venue is the American International School Sports Complex in East Legon in Accra. The time is 8 a.m. prompt. The dress code is sporty pink. Activities include soccer, volleyball, tennis, obstacle race, indoor games, and more. There will be bouncy castles, trampolines, and exciting activities for the kids. Who takes home the gold? Join all your favorite Star FM hosts tomorrow at the Star FM at 10 Diplomatic Games. Attendance is free, but registration is compulsory. Visit www.starfm.com.gh to register for free. Our partners are American International School, and they are supported by Sahara Rise Hospitality and Accra Medical Center. Well, that is The Zone. We were talking to Gifty, and we've had a great time, and I've learned a lot. Make sure that if you are in an organization, fit in with their culture, and make sure that you don't do what you want to do. Do what the organization have tasked you to do, and in the way they want you to do it. If you have something new to present to them, let them know and see if they can inculcate it into their strategy or their processes, so that you can add on to the company. I think that Gifty has given us a whole lot to consider. But do you have any quick final words for us before we go?
Okay, so I just want to say that as we move into the new world and also into the AIs, we can still also fuse an organization into it. Most companies should also be able to get the new policies done so that they can also accept such people into the organization. It also brings a new brand into the organization.
Great. Gifty, thank you so much for your time. I'm really, really grateful. God bless you. So that is me, Nanama Aqua, signing out from The Zone on Star 103.5. We are simply the best. Don't move your dial, because coming up we have the midday news.
Nobody does it like we do. We are the best.